Hello everyone, this is Endgame Arts doing another unboxing and a breakdown of the demo. This is the Evil Within 2. To start off, there was a pretty small update surprisingly for the game. It was 250 megabytes big. It was just mostly bug and performance issues. To start off, I did also complete this entire game without this update. I want to start off by also stating that there was 2 crashes during the play of this entire game for me. Now this is work again without the update. Now the only crashes only really occurred when I was playing through the open world aspects of the game and running around for quite some time and playing for quite some time. I believe this is a crash due to maybe memory leak or something like that, a build up of information, and then it just couldn't store that information much more and then it crashed. Not a big deal. It stinks that it has these crashes, but maybe that update fixes that crashing problems. But I did complete the entire game and plus as without really just those 2 crashes, and the main character Sebastian a little wonky in control sometimes. Now just get that out of the way to let you know about the product. Let's start off to state that this is a direct sequel from the original first one that came out, which I did play and beat as well. And I personally did really enjoy the first one. Now, there was a few gripes I had about the first one, and the second one right here really just went in and really tried to just revamp the kind of game. It's still the same formula, but it's definitely a little bit more refined this time. It doesn't feel so jarring as the first one. And the graphics have been massively overhauled. It definitely has a lot more shine, polish, smoothness. It looks a lot more crisp. Not to say the first one's graphics were bad. A lot of people were dogging about the first one's graphics. I really didn't mind, but you could definitely see a much improvement in the second one here. Like I said again, it's pretty much the same game. It's just they really smoothed out the controls and eliminated some stuff and added some stuff. Like, in the first one, you had these hiding functions, and then you had a little bit of stealth, but over time, you really didn't even use that function too much, or the hiding matter, for that matter, you never really used that at all. Well, they kind of just scrapped that in the second one here with the hiding, but stealth now plays a bigger role in it, where you can pretty much go through the entire game with stealth, which is very much a big plus in my opinion, because I love stealth games. Now, the survival horror aspects is a lot stronger in this one, too. There's still the slow build up from survival horror, then immediately slowly easing you into more actiony aspects of the game. Now it does it much better than the first one. The first one is like very survival horror, like a Saw segment, but right as you get to the city at one point, it just completely changes into some of this over action packed game. And I really didn't like that segment in the first one. Well, the second one here still kind of has that, but it feels like you're gradually building up. The main character Sebastian is slowly becoming better and stronger as a character to withstand this onslaught of enemies. As well as it does have the basic functions we've come to remember with weapon upgrading, as well as the green green goop, the brain goop as everyone called it. It has that, but now they're a little bit separated. Now you grab parts and stuff like to upgrade your weaponry, and then you can craft items from bullets to health items to your bolt gun for your crossbow, and then you use the green gel or the brain goop if you want to call it that for your abilities, like more health, do certain maneuvers and abilities and stuff like that. Now they're separated, and it really works pretty good. And it's got some other little bonuses, like to unlock segments, you have to find the red gel or the red goop. To point out also, this is a new game plus you're witnessing here, so all the stuff you're seeing is me already beating the game. I just figured I'd just jump right into it and record it from this aspects of this new game plus, and I really am loving it, and I would really gonna probably play it again to complete everything in the game. Like I said, I beat the entire game and almost found everything and did everything without the update in just one single run, and I really enjoyed myself. Story, it's pretty meh. It's not the most original story or the most inspiring story, but it's still pretty good. I mean, the first one's story wasn't as good either, but this one functions just the same way. It does have the generic kind of Sebastian, the detective having a hard time, gotta go save his daughter and stuff like that, and trying to fix his life and everything. It just wasn't the best story in the world, and frankly, I would have liked to see a little bit better done with it. That's the other little gripe I have about the game, is that all the side characters are generally really good. I liked every single side character in the game. I mean, even the ones I think they were trying to make me hate, or think trying to make me like these, like the jerk of the group. I actually generally liked him as a character. It was the main villains of the game that just didn't really connect with me. Not to say they were bad characters, but they were much like Ruvik from the first one. You just didn't really stand out as powerful or threatening characters. You didn't connect with them. But they're not bad characters either. They were pretty they had their inspiration of pretty dark and creepy in their own right way. But to me, they could have been a little bit better, a little bit more inspired main enemy. Which also, on that note, I want to point out that Sebastian's wife is like really creepy. I mean, just really creepy. You'll meet her like at the very beginning and everything like that. She just, I don't know, she makes my skin crawl. I don't know what it is about her. It's just like she's got the whole typical housewife look and everything like that. Just if anyone doesn't know, I'm afraid I don't like mannequins, and she got this like mannequin look. I don't know what's going on, but it's just I don't like it at all. But on that note, it's just that it's a much better game, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. I really had a lot of fun with it. I love the weapon upgrading scheme. Upgrading weapons was one of my most favorite progression systems. I love the green gel system as well. I love the constant scares that the game provided, the wickedness and stuff like that. I do wish there was a little more psychological horror in the game, and just they still stuck with the horror aspects, but it's still generally a pretty good survival horror and action game. If you like the first one, you'll like this one. And if you didn't like the first one, I can almost say you might want to give this one a little bit of a look. Maybe if you can get it used or rent it real quick, and you might turn out to be a game you might actually like more. And you don't really even need to play the first one or the first one's DLC to get an idea of what's going on in this one, which is a big plus. I really was hoping for a Game of the Year edition of the first Evil Within or Complete Edition, but the only other problem is the same game does pretty quickly hint about DLC. Not even like completed the game yet, and they already hint about future DLC. And of course, there's a cliffhanger, but that's pretty predicted with these kinds of games. All in all, I can't really say not to pick this up. It's generally a fun game. I had my fun with it. I'm going to complete it more with it. There's just nothing really bad about it. Like I said, other than, like I said, Sebastian's wonky controls sometimes, which was like in the first one as well. Sometimes he just did certain things I didn't tell him to do, and the camera sometimes could be a little wonky. And then story is not the most inspiring either. And then the game also is not too difficult. I recommend that if you already have experience with survival horror games and item management and just stealth, you might want to just start on the highest difficulty of Nightmare mode. You'll get the best experience out of it. And when you do beat the game, you do unlock Classic mode, which will be original classic, like Resident Evil style, where you have no checkpoints, you have a limited number of times you can save the game, and there's no weapon upgrading and no green gel upgrading. And you cannot just pick it from the start. You have to start a whole new game with it. I mean, it's, like I said, I haven't tried that yet. I want to, but I'll get to that when I complete my ranked save point. But like I said, that's just great. It makes me more intrigued to play the next route with it. And I love what they did with this game, and I can't really say anything really wrong with it, other than the things I've pointed out. And like I said, I'm hoping for a sequel, and hopefully if they release all the DLC, we'll get a Game of the Year edition, or not even whatever, not even Complete Edition, Ultimate Edition, whatever you want to call it. So, like always, I will leave links down in the description if you're interested in a copy. I'd say, give it a gander. I wouldn't say to rush out and buy it, because there's other games out there you might be more interested in. But you should give it a look. I say give it a look. So, thank you all for watching. Hit that like, subscribe, share button if you want to see more videos from me. And I'll see you guys in my next episode. Bye-bye!